Good morning, fellas. We have Isaac here, we have Charles here, and we're working on the trophy cart again. So, Ike, what are we doing today?
All right, we are working on trying to get this thing running better. It's running like total garbage, which is to be expected for a $100 BMW engine from the 80s.
Right.
It'll be fine. We work with what we got, and we sometimes it works in our benefits us, and then other times it bites us in the butt. So hopefully this is not one of those issues where it bites us in the butt. Charles here, tell them what you're doing, dude.
Well, I've got rear suspension to take care of, some bracing for the rear suspension to stiffen it up, maybe go around the frame, and then we have a brake line leak that I need to find. So that's what I got to take care of today.
And hopefully right after that we'll be able to take her for another rip.
Yes.
And see how it'll do then.
Sounds good.
So Ike is going to be chasing down why the engine isn't running right. Could be a lot of things because it's an 80s BMW engine. Charles is going to start, I think, with brakes. We had brakes at one point. Now when we're just playing with the brake pedal, there's absolutely nothing. So that's just what happens when you're making a brake system from scratch, is you oftentimes have leaks. You need to chase those down.
All right. So I'm working the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. And I've been going through the spark plugs. I pre-marked them before I pulled them off the other bike, and all the numbers and dots match up. So I believe that the ignition is hooked up correctly because it was running great on the other bike. I'm looking for vacuum leaks. There was a hose hooked up on the air box. If that hose has a leak, it'll cause the airflow meter to not operate right in a lean condition, and it won't run correctly. So I've bypassed that. I'm about to try to crank it up again and see if that helps, and then I'll just move on to more, again, simple, keeping it simple, stupid stuff. KISS method. Seems rich, doesn't it?
Whoa. Fireball. Cool.
I'm going to say it's not fixed. What?
That was a weird noise.
I'm gonna say it's not running right.
It smells really rich.
It does smell really rich.
Yeah.
All right, so I've eliminated our extension that I had to make for this air box because the steering rod went right past it. Now I know it's a bit of a bottleneck.
Just a little bit.
But I thought it was gonna be okay. And here in a second, we're going to find out if it makes any difference or not. So,
Let it rip, take it.
that's right. Y'all ready? Here we go.
Crossed.
Should be smoother than that.
Yeah.
So let me see which coils have 1 and 4. Oh, there we go. We have a coil over here that
Shared coil.
Good. Yep, a shared coil, 1 and 4.
Is it plugged in?
I mean, it should have been. It looked fine. I got this one now. Thanks. So I'm looking at them and they're plugged in. So let's just swap them around and see if that changes things. Here we go. remember the bike?
Yeah.
The whole bike that we rode around the swamp?
Yeah.
How good it ran?
Yeah.
It ran on all 4 cylinders?
Yeah.
These are the coils off that bike.
Oh.
Yeah. I have no spark. So I wonder if I need to swap coils and then see if
it moves to the other.
if it
two.
moves to the other side.
Key off.
Alright, we have a problem, not with the coil, but possibly wiring. So we got to figure out what's going on here.
We don't have any hot going to the coil, do we?
Well, I don't know. I got to check that with the
Okay.
test light.
Okay.
So we either have no fire going to the coil, or maybe we have a bad ground going to the coil, or the computer. All right, I'm checking powers and grounds on the coils, and because I'm not getting fire, I'm not getting spark out of this back coil. But whenever I switch the ECM power to the coil, it starts. It just tells me more that it's the ECM. But anyhow, maybe we'll see.
Sounds expensive.
Well, I have another computer over there. Green, GE, yellow, green and yellow. Now I got to find a computer-friendly test light so I can see if we have the computer signal going to the coil to fire the coil.
Cover. Go with something like that.
Cool. Yeah, that looks good to me. Cranking. Check this other one. It's a really warm flame. I'm gonna stop there. And there's another issue with something is powered up all the time because the instrument cluster's on with the key off, and we have power to the coils with the key off. I have this computer here. I don't have that computer here. So we could have a bad computer for the ignition. I swapped the signals,
And then you're
and the 1 and 4 is firing,
yeah,
and
then
the
your
2 and 3 is not. So that tells me that it's either the wiring or the unit.
We can still put around on 2 cylinders though, right?
It's probably not good for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bummer.
I mean, sure, you know we're going to put around, but I mean, I wouldn't be doing a Grand Prix with it.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm still testing. I'm checking the wiring and all that stuff. So
Charles just finished one of our upper shock braces in the back. Looks good, bud.
Solid.
I'd jump it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
On to the next one.
I'm probably going to have to steal the computer off the ignition control module. I'm going to have to steal the ignition control module off the other bike and put it on here. It's not a coil issue. It's probably the module.
Okay. Well, at least we have a parts bike, right? I mean,
We have a parts bike.
so it looks like we have a bad ignition control module,
Yep.
right? Something like that?
Yep.
which is a bummer. So between that and the fact that our drive shaft is just at such a terrible angle that it makes noise every time it spins, means that we should probably just wait until we can fix those things to take this thing for a ride. But even though we're not going to take it for a ride today, there are still plenty of things we can do. The whole chassis needs bracing. It needs to get tied together like here to here and maybe here to down there, just for structure and support for when this thing goes off a jump.
It will
Right.
be going off a jump.
It needs a shifter. Yeah, and everything else, like our exhaust, we need to wait until we get our new rear end in there, because we're going to try to get a glass pack or maybe even a car muffler and mount it behind the seat. But we can't do that right now because of how our rear end is mounted. So plenty of stuff we can still do, but probably not going for a ride today.
So let me give this a shot. You ready? That was like 8,500 RPM.
stuff off the wall.
I'm blowing stuff off the wall.
Like off the
Nice.
shelf.
All right. So,
So you fixed it. What was it?
the wiring behind the cluster.
Oh.
And oopsie daisy.
All right.
Yeah. So that was 8,500 RPM.
Still got it.
Breathing through that.
Still got it. Okay.
Yeah, not a restriction, people. Perfect.
Well, yeah.
I'm sure it's a restriction.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
argue with me on that.
But it sounds good.
Yeah, it does.
So
Sounds mean.
awesome.
Dude, right there. Good job, man.
So I got our CNC table, Crossfire Pro, working, and I'm planning on cutting out a go, a stop, and a clutch pedal for the trophy cart, but I'm having a weird issue with Fusion 360 software, so I'm waiting to hear back from support, and I'll be able to cut these out. But we have some pedals for testing purposes that we can use today, but the main thing holding us back from a drive is that drive shaft, which is just so scary. Especially now that our engine runs right. It's like so tempting to get on there and just hit the gas, but it'd probably, take our legs off.
All right, dude. I'm thinking that we'd mount a shifter somewhere down low. Second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, just like a race car.
I think pushing forward would be.
Yeah, I think
Ideal.
that'd be good for going up in gears. So pull back is downshifting, forward is upshifting. So we'd have to have a pivot point somewhere, which I guess maybe coming off of this bar here.
So in the last episode, unfortunately, we couldn't get the cooling fan for the radiator to work. So we've got this guy. So I got to remove this, and we're gonna try and make some tabs because it's a universal one. So we're gonna make it fit. It'll be fine. Like a glove.
So I just finished cutting out the stop, go, and clutch pedals from our Crossfire Pro, and they turned out awesome, by the way. So I just need to kind of strengthen the pedal stalks that are already here, and I can knock these temporary ones off and weld in and beautify the new pedal faces that we have.
Yep.
Woo, a little warm.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. So.
Sounds like a hole over there.
I'm gap welding.
Oh,
You can leave
never
it.
mind. We never done that before.
That's pretty clever, man. It's on a washer.
Yeah, but it,
You
but
aren't
it's,
kidding. It's a little janky.
It's a bit janky.
it's okay. No.
But it works, right?
Yes.
I mean, you can show them, right? For testing purposes.
This is to see if all the pivot points will work. We will fine tune the ugliness, but
Yeah.
it is fine
You were
as
going
long as
to,
it's pulling the gears.
You were going to drill a hole in that aluminum and run a bolt through it.
I was.
and then it might weaken it
Yeah.
and snap the end off.
Yeah.
and whatnot. Yeah.
Can we get a washer that fits tighter?
I wanted it kind of loose.
Okay.
I was gonna put a rubber hose, so there's no like wearing.
It's like a dampener,
Oh, yeah.
like a dampener
Yeah.
on it.
I got you.
Hell,
It'll
you
tighten it.
might be able to even
That's
use this.
too tight. I already tried it.
Okay.
So I was
Sweet.
gonna go with another one.
So we have a shifter. You just need it to curve back a little
I
bit,
was
right?
gonna get it to curve back and
Is
yeah,
that-
it's gonna curve back. Is down and forward.
Oh, we're hitting this bolt
Oh,
head right
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah, that's second. Okay, I need to
Tighten up the first.
yeah.
But we got a shifter on the correct side.
Yeah.
So cars and cameras first. So what are we up to this morning?
I'm tying up loose ends. Charles is helping with the pedals and stuff. And we're just trying to get everything buttoned up.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm about to use our plasma table again. Can one of you guys hold this? Here we go. These brackets turned out really well, I think. I just had to touch them up in the bench grinder over there. Meanwhile, Ike is working on bracing, right?
That's right.
Or bracing and just reinforcement in general.
Welding up stuff that needs to be welded up.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
This is the odds and ends episode. Oh, hey.
Oh, goodness. Again?
Yeah. Look down, we got a bonfire.
Don't look at that one. That one.
New and improved brake
Yeah.
pedal.
So I'll take this one off and I'll make it look like that one.
Sounds good. That looks nice and strong.
So, got these wonderful tabs that the mad scientist John just cut out for us. And they are for the comfortability of the brake pedal. You're gonna be going through here. Got this nice stop pedal. That way it has some pivot action.
Looks awesome.
And we're gonna do the same thing over here.
So I'm cutting out some braces for the front trailing arms because there are going to be a lot of forces pushing the front wheels backwards as we run stuff over. So check it out, man. I have this brace here, and I have a hole cut out for the bolt to go through so we can bolt it. We're going to put a slice right there so we can bend it so it'll go and meet with the 1-inch pipe right there, or a 1-inch tube. So let's see what happens, man. Cover.
You know how long it would take me to build something like that by hand?
Oh, I know. And it wouldn't be that clean either.
No.
No, that's
Wait a minute. What are you saying, man?
Oh, no offense, dog. I mean, I'm sure you could, but we'd be out here all day.
yeah,
So we just need to put a slit in each one of them right about there so we can give it a curve so it can meet the chassis over there.
That is awesome, dude.
Yeah, I love it. Ike is up there working on reinforcing our front suspension. I'm working on our new pedal faces. So stop is installed. Now I'm working on clutch. Cover, buddy.
Yep.
Clutch. Our clutch pedal face is looking awesome. It has a nice pivot, so it'll move with your foot as well. Need to address that. Got a little bit of a kink on our clutch cable there, which I'll take care of that later. But here's our other piece that we cut out with our CNC machine. Just gave it a cut right there so I could bend it to the chassis. The fish mouth didn't turn out quite like I wanted because I can't, put an angle in it. But, it'll be fine. There's plenty there to weld to. It'll be nice and strong. Yeah, it looks so much better than the old pedals. They're all the same height.
They all say something?
They all say something. They all pivot. This is a game changer, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Legendary.
Legendary.
Can you stand back and give me one more opinion before I go full send here, boss?
How about floorboarding it and letting it off? I want to make sure it's not interfering with frame.
That's full. That's full off.
Okay. It's close,
Yeah.
but whatever you think.
We can probably adjust this to where, so they're the same.
Yeah.
They're in line
Yeah,
with each other.
I got you. It looks good to me, man. Go for it. Yep. Clutch. You got
Stop,
stop
go.
and go.
Exactly. It just fits all in line with the idea that this will be easier to drive for someone that is new to these type of machines. Easier to get into, easier to drive. You can read the pedals. 90 horsepower,
So we're about ready to go out for a ride. I can't wait. But we need a little bit of extra protection for me and John. And that's the drive shaft area. We need a shield to go around the drive shaft. Neither me nor John are happy with the angle of the drive shaft. So we might be redoing that a little bit later. But everyone needs protection from the drive shaft because that thing's spinning at 1,000,000 miles per hour. And if anything bad happens, somebody can get hurt. So we're going to put a tube around the drive shaft with some thick metal, do some bracing up, and go for a rip.
Sounds good. And, this drive shaft may not be our permanent solution, but this shield is only going to take a little bit of time, so
Few minutes.
hey, might as well.
Yeah.
And while Ike is doing that, I cut some tubes to act as bracing for our chassis.
Wait.
So I'm going to be working on that.
Alright, so we should explain that the drive shaft is going to be hitting my little shield here. So it's going to be making some noises. We're still not sure if we even like the drive shaft, period. Might be swapping the rear end out, giving us a longer drive shaft, which is going to change the angle of the drive shaft, which is going to make it a lot easier on the universal joints.
That being said, you ready to go for a ride?
Yeah, man, I'm ready to give it a shot. On this brake.
Ah, that's not good.
No, I guess I'll drive it over to the shop.
We'll grab a nut.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Donuts out of the hole, man.
You want to take it down the lane?
I can take it down the lane.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, like the Grand Prix?
Grand Prix.
Get that drive shaft thing sorted out,
Yeah.
this thing won't be so bad. Dude, all it
I
does
hope
is
not.
spin and
Spin tires.
First, second, and third.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking things over, and this coolant pipe right here is pretty hot. The other side is really cold. So it's actually circulating through the radiator and cooling. We don't have the fan hooked up yet, but since it's cold to the touch on one side, you know, it's doing its job. We just can't drive for like an hour or something. There's no way it'd be able to cool without the fan.
Yeah.
That drive shaft is at such an extreme angle that the end of the bearing caps are hitting the yoke
Yeah.
on the rear end and the drive shaft. They're just colliding, so it's a pretty violent, at times, when you give her power, it goes away. It seems like when you let up off the gas, that's when everything kind of just goes
To crap?
yeah.
Well, that sounds easy enough. Keep your foot in it, bro.
Keep your foot into it.
So turn the key. Oh no, I'm in first.
I'd leave it in first, push in the clutch and crank it up.
All right. And bada bing, bada boom. Very nice.
Super loud. I can hear him coming from a mile away. Really? Think you broke the drive shaft?
Probably. Oh man, the brakes are horrible.
Yeah. Let her go. Oh, the rear end popped out. You know the problem we had last time?
Yeah. Same deal?
That yoke. Same deal.
That chose a great spot to break down.
Yeah, man, it's beautiful out here.
It is. Man, you need to give this a little bit more credit. You said that it felt about like the cross cart when we first got it together.
Uh-huh.
Cross cart was a little bit of a train wreck when we got it first together, in my opinion. We worked all the kinks out, but I think that this has a much higher starting point than the cross cart, which is awesome. Like, first off, the engine runs great. There's no choke. It's fuel injecting. All you got to do is turn the key and press the button. That is awesome. I love that about this thing. Of course, the shifter needs work. That's really not a big deal. Like, all the major things that are going to be really hard to change, I think, are worked out pretty well, other than the drive shaft. The suspension feels pretty darn comfy. It's not a Cadillac, but also it's not pavement. I bet it would feel like a Cadillac if we drove down the road.
Probably so.
It's nice and cushy. Yeah, it's a beast. It's a big vehicle, which, you know, it's about time we built a full-size vehicle, right? I mean,
it's only
full-size go-kart.
It's only a few inches longer than the cross cart.
Yeah, but I think it feels way bigger because we have this going for us, and the seating position is a lot higher. Seating position is another thing that needs work, but again, it's not a huge deal. We need to move the seat back or somehow figure out how to move the pedals forward, but this is not very comfortable where it is now, and I think you agree with me.
Yeah.
It's a behemoth. I think I understand the spinning tires like you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Ike, do you have any final thoughts for the day?
I do, man. I got to drive the trophy cart, and it actually drove pretty good. A lot better than I thought it was, to tell you the truth. And the biggest thing is I didn't break it.
Yeah. Man, I've been breaking and crashing a lot of stuff recently.
I mean,
I got a good streak going.
It'll be all right.
But yeah, it's about time a full-size go-kart joined the fleet here at Cars and Cameras. It's a behemoth. It is a beast. This thing was built for wide open, high-speed spaces, which is exactly what we wanted, and I can't wait to put it through its paces. But we still have a few here and there things to do left on it. So to see those videos, be sure to subscribe to Cars and Cameras. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's video. Visit our website, cars-cameras.com, to pick up some of our merchandise to help support our future builds. We have collectible pins, hats, custom stickers, and t-shirts. And check us out on Facebook at Cars and Cameras Reviews, and Instagram at John_Cars and Cameras, and Ike here on YouTube and Instagram at Isaac It'll Be Fine. All right, do you think our monster truck go-kart will be able to tow this home?
Yeah, it's a tow vehicle.
Let's give it a shot. Catch you guys later.